Welcome to The Explainer. I am your master coach, and I am absolutely thrilled to guide you through today's high-octane masterclass. Look, if you are sitting for the Cambridge AS and A-Level Accounting 9706 exams, you already know the pressure is on. The clock is ticking, the syllabus is massive, and the margin for error is razor thin. But today, we are going to completely demystify one of the most critical, high-stakes topics on the entire syllabus, mastering the International Accounting Standards 7, or IAS 7, the Statement of Cash Flows. We are talking about those complex, high-tariff, 9 to 15-mark questions that literally make or break your final grade. The stakes here are incredibly high, but by the end of this deep dive, you will have the exact, elite blueprint to tackle this topic with total confidence, structural precision, and strategic mastery. So, grab your notebooks, get focused, and let's get into it. 100%. Now, why in the world is that crucial number our starting point today? Because, frankly, IAS 7 is virtually inescapable. It appears in literally every single examination series. You absolutely cannot afford to skip this topic, and you definitely can't just lightly skim the material hoping for an easy multiple-choice question. It is a fundamental, non-negotiable pillar of the Cambridge assessment. Mastering it means you are aggressively securing points that thousands of other students needlessly leave on the table. When you see that IAS 7 question pop up, I want you to feel a wave of relief, not panic, because you're going to know exactly how to extract every single available mark. But here is the massive roadblock we constantly see when we dissect the principal examiner reports. Take a look at this question on the screen. Why do students find applying concepts to unfamiliar context so hard? Year after year, examiners note that candidates might know the basic formulas, but the moment an exam scenario looks a little different, everything just falls apart. They completely freeze. Let's look at this through the examiner's lens right now, specifically focusing on command word analysis. Students fail because they don't contrast command words. Take analyze versus evaluate. If you analyze, you're just breaking down the components. But if the command is evaluate and you only analyze, you lose the top-tier marks. Evaluate requires a judgment. Same with explain versus to what extent. Explain is just the how and why. To what extent means you must weigh conflicting evidence. You have to isolate the command word, identify the content knowledge required, and find the hidden constraints of the prompt. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our examiner's playbook, our time-blocked structural blueprint for today's session. First, we are going to break down the core principles. Second, we'll deploy the method mark strategy. Third, we are going deep into critical analysis. And finally, fourth, we'll expose the top examiner traps. We are going to dissect complex questions, master time allocation, and totally upgrade your critical thinking. Let's kick things off with Section 1, Core Principles. The absolute foundation of everything we do with IAS 7 starts right here. Let me be perfectly clear right out of the gate. Mere rote memorization is not going to secure you the top grades in Cambridge accounting. Integration is key. Cross-topic connections unlock top marks. Let me tell you about a digital study session I ran recently with two scholars. We'll call them Alex and Sam. Now, Alex is highly technical, excels at formulas, facts, and can balance an account blindfolded, but struggles with open-ended evaluation. Sam, on the other hand, is a highly creative thinker, builds fantastic conceptual arguments, but completely loses the plot on structural precision and timing. They were given a massive 15-mark IAS 7 question. Alex pushed for a purely factual approach, just listing cash flow definitions. Sam argued for a broader conceptual perspective about the economy. Both were missing the integration. Top-performing students demonstrate a connected understanding, linking the disposal of a non-current asset directly to its impact on investing activities and overall liquidity. In that same study suite, Alex and Sam were fiercely debating how to unlock the top-tier marking bands, those elusive assessment objectives AO1, AO2, and AO3. Alex wanted to write a paragraph covering 10 different tiny points. Sam wanted to write a massive paragraph on just one. I had to step in and show them this exact comparison: analytical depth versus superficial breadth. Academic benchmarks for IAS 7 heavily prioritize analytical depth. What does that actually mean for you on exam day? It means that writing a highly logical, structured, and deeply reasoned paragraph on, say, why a specific high depreciation charge doesn't actually improve a company's cash position is far more valuable than broadly listing 10 disconnected facts. You must base your answers on established principles and evidence-based reasoning. You have to prove to the examiner that you understand the why behind the numbers. Which brings us perfectly to Section 2, the method mark strategy. All right, listen up, because this is absolutely crucial. Before we solve the absolute hardest part at this cash flow problem and reveal the cognitive strategy to get you unstuck, I am pausing this session. If you are serious about your grades, you need a consistent strategy. So right now, I need you to hit that subscribe button for our channel, Ace the Exams, IGCSE O and A levels. That's at acetheexam_IGCSE. Enable all notifications, hit that bell so you never miss a weekly Cambridge breakthrough strategy. You can see the subscribe button animation popping up on your screen right now. Go ahead and click it. Okay, let's get back to the masterclass. If you ever feel panic setting in when you see a massive block of complex financial data, the method mark strategy is your ultimate remedy. It's an assessment principle where marks are awarded for correctly applying systematic processing and showing crystal clear working. Your procedure is literally just as important as your final numerical answer. Let's go back to Alex and Sam. They were actively drafting a model response paragraph by paragraph on screen, and suddenly they hit a massive roadblock regarding timing. Alex was spending 20 minutes calculating a single working capital figure. Sam was totally lost on how to link the paragraphs. I used a picture-in-picture feature to pause their session, stepped in, and explained this exact 6-step standardized sequence to get them unstuck. Step 1, deconstruct the question. Step 2, extract the data from the stimulus. Step 3, select the framework. Step 4, execute with clear notation. Show the examiner your brain on paper. Step 5, verify your results. And Step 6, present your terminology. We rewrote their flawed section out loud, transitioning it from a mediocre, tangled mess into a flawless, full-mark response, just by systematically processing the data through these 6 steps. Let's really zoom in on that final step because it is a massive, silent killer of grades. Step 6 demands absolute adherence to strict presentation conventions. We are talking proper headings. Operating, investing, and financing activities must be clearly labeled. You need correct terminology, appropriate formats, and clear annotation. You could have the most brilliant, mathematically perfect financial analysis in the entire world, but if your paper looks like a messy, disorganized draft instead of a professional statement of cash flows, you will needlessly bleed marks. The examiner is not going to go hunting for your final answer. Presentation isn't just about making it look aesthetically pleasing. It is a formal, rigidly standardized requirement of the IAS 7 framework. Let's level up. Section 3, Critical Analysis. I want to turn this into an immersive, interactive workshop segment right now. I want you to look at this table on the screen. Imagine I've just presented a complex text excerpt detailing a company's decision to issue new shares to buy machinery. I'm putting a 60-second visual countdown timer on the clock in our minds. Examiners use a strict 3-tier framework to grade your critical analysis. At the bottom, you have the descriptive level. This is just stating basic concepts. It gets you started, but it gets you a low grade. To move to the analytical level, you must evaluate alternatives and compare approaches. But the real magic, that happens at the top, the evaluative level. Here, top-scoring candidates are actively questioning assumptions, like, what if the interest rates change? And most importantly, they are justifying their final recommendations with hard, undeniable evidence from the text. Let's do scene 2 of our workshop, Spot the Flaw. Imagine a poorly written student answer that just says, the company bought machines, which is bad for cash. Can you spot the errors? 1, it doesn't identify similarities and differences. 2, it lacks comparative connectives, like whereas or conversely. 3, it supports nothing with evidence. And 4, it draws 0 conclusions on relative importance. I want you to mentally take a red digital highlighter and systematically annotate that flaw. For an effective comparative analysis, you must draw a conclusion. Tell the examiner exactly why one factor matters more than the other. Tell them why a massive outflow in investing activities is actually a brilliant sign of strategic long-term expansion for this specific business rather than a short-term liquidity crisis. We are in the home stretch. Section 4, Top Examiner Traps. Listen very closely because this is a direct, urgent warning pulled straight from the principal examiner reports. This gives you a literal behind-the-scenes look at exactly where thousands of students are failing year after year. Quote, the classic mistake is providing generic answers not specific to the question context. Always link every point to the given scenario, end quote. The danger of walking into that exam hall with a pre-memorized, generic, cookie-cutter essay is immense. The examiners are highly trained. They know the second you are just regurgitating a textbook paragraph. If your written answer could logically apply to any random business in the world, it is absolutely the wrong answer for a Cambridge exam. Look at this visual contrast on the screen. Vague, generic answers versus scenario-specific context. Context is the ultimate key that unlocks those final decisive marks. Do not rely on vague answers. When a high tariff question explicitly asks you to analyze a cash flow issue for a struggling, real-world manufacturing firm, your answer must speak directly to manufacturing inventory issues. It must mention the specific bespoke machinery depreciation mentioned in the text, not just general cash flow principles. The scenario provided in the prompt is your playground. You have to play strictly inside it, using the precise, unique details they give you to build your argument. Let's synthesize this entire masterclass right now. Alex and Sam shared their personal breakthroughs after our session, and they all came down to avoiding these top 3 principal examiner traps. Number 1, using the wrong approach for the context. Number 2, forgetting format and presentation. Number 3, failing to provide context-specific answers. I want to leave you with 3 core memorable pillars from today to defeat these traps. Pillar 1, the 3-step question scan. Always isolate the command word. Pillar 2, the paragraph balance formula. Claim, data, evaluation. Pillar 3, the last 5 minutes review checklist. Always verify your headings and workings before you drop your pen. Create a memory hack, an acronym, to run through these pillars the moment you open the exam paper. So I leave you with this final provocative thought. Will you let a generic answer cost you your target grade in the next exam series? You now possess the examiner's playbook. You know that cross-topic integration, the 6-step method mark strategy, and hyper-specific contextual analysis are exactly what separate the elite candidates from the rest. Do not leave your final grade to chance. Crushing Cambridge exams requires consistent strategy. So right now, explicitly, I need you to hit that subscribe button for Ace the Exam's IGCSE O&A levels. That's at acetheexam_IGCSE. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss our future exam hacks, and get down in the comments right now and tell me your exact target grade. Apply these precise methods to your very next revision session. Until next time, keep studying smart, keep thinking like an examiner, and I will see you in the next explainer.